Hey folks, Grumpy Vlogger coming at you. I'm still driving home. I'm hurrying as fast as I can within the speed limit. Actually, I'm not even going the speed limit. Speed limit's 80 miles an hour here, and I'm just going 75 because I want to take my time and enjoy the beautiful, well, you know, hey, it's fall. There ain't nothing left. All the leaves are falling off except for the, well, we got a crap load of cedar trees around, or pine trees, whatever you want to call them. There are a bunch of them out here. I didn't realize we had that many. But it is what it is. So, yeah, sorry you can't see it, but you guys can look at the background back there behind me, and you can see those are all pine trees back there. It's like a damn Christmas tree lot. I mean, they're everywhere. I didn't think we had that many, but apparently they've grown up over the years, because there's some young ones there. So, not the right size for a good Christmas tree. But just listening to the news, and they're talking about the vaccine for COVID-19. That's something I discussed. We touched on as we were covering a plethora of health issues and political issues and fun stuff when I was talking to the PA that I saw today at the doctor's office. You know, she's talking about the inconsistency in all the states. And because I was discussing the inconsistency in our voting system or our voting methods. I will say this again. Her name was Ren. I'm 99% sure that's her name. And shout out to her. I had to discuss hanging chads because she's not old enough to remember the hanging chads. I said, you know, this kind of stuff's been going on for 20 years. I said, all the way back to 2000 where Gore versus Bush 43. And I explained that, you know, Florida was called for Gore, and then it was called for Bush, then it was called for neither one. And eventually it wound its way up to the Supreme Court because they'd only counted those chads. And I had to explain what a hanging chad was. She just, the look of like, huh? Over that? Yeah, over that. So those of you that don't know what the hanging chad is, Florida, in its wisdom, decided that year to come up with a new voting system. You put your little card in the machine, then you got this little punch that you punch through. And apparently all them older tired folks down there in Florida didn't have the strength to push that little pencil thing through the hole. So and there's pictures of people holding it up, looking, you know, 3 or 4 people looking at it to see if, you know, nobody was worried about COVID back then, so they didn't have to social distance. Now their idea of social distancing is to leave the observers, you know, 20 foot outside of the counting area. Stupid. And, you know, I said it's an inconsistency in our method of voting. States have the right to set up their elections. But I think if we could get a unified election, a unified voting method that was acceptable, at least on the federal level, where, you know, if you want to vote for your dog catchers with crayons and pictograms, well, okay, you color in the picture of the dog you want, you know. But when it comes to our president, I think we need to have a little more high tech. We've got the bill, we've got the software. We just got to learn, you know, and it can be easily done. But there's a lot of stuff that needs to be changed. Not just the way they vote, but the way they count it, the way they do a recount, the way they do. You know, they should be able to have cameras right over the ballots and watch them doing the count, you know. But she was just flabbergasted by the hanging chad. Those of us that remember how much of a joke it was. And that joke has still been, they've been playing that same joke on us for 20 years. And I explained that to her. She was just like, are you kidding me? Really? I said, yeah. I told her to look up hanging chad to Google it, you know. C-H-A-D. I said, those little tabs that popped out of the, you know, It was a joke, folks, and so was this election, and so has been the last, every election since the last 20 years of elections. What was that, last 5 elections? Yeah. We were doing 25 times, so this is the 5th election in that 20 years that we've had a problem, you know. And young folks aren't taught this stuff. They don't. It was nothing against her. She just wasn't around then, and they don't teach it in school now, you know. Well, I mean, she was around, but she obviously was too young to know. And that was fun to explain, but yeah, and she said, well, it's the same with the COVID-19. They could have done, you know, I explained that in February, first part of February, I had an appointment with the VA, and they were already gearing up for COVID. They knew what was coming. You know, it's like they understood that this could be bad, and so they were taking precautions. Now, had every hospital and doctor's office taken some of the basics, you know, have you been anywhere? You know, they do that with the Ebola. Have you been to a country that has Ebola? If you say, yeah, I just got back from Cucamonga in South Rio de Janeiro or someplace like that, you know, where they have bad Ebola, or I just came back from Tanzania, you know, someplace like that. I don't know. But you get my point. You know, we don't, this idea, people are saying, oh, yeah, I don't want to take the vaccine because we don't know what kind of microchips you're putting in it. Hell, you take a shot nowadays, you don't know what's in it. Unless you watch them measured out, unless you do the analyticals on it, nobody knows what's in a shot. You take the damn shot because it makes you feel better. Say what you want. Vaccines, no vaccines, your choice. Freedom. You know, that's the other thing. I've said this for years, and I still believe it, that there are certain things, certain privileges and rights we have to give up in order to live in a civilized society. Not our constitutional rights, but just God-given rights. You know, the right to do certain things. Like if I don't like my neighbor because his leaves blew over into my yard, I have a right to go out and shoot him because his leaves are in my... No, I don't have that right. That's not civilized. Anyways, just thought I'd throw that little 2 cents in. Probably this will go up sometime this next week. I was just really impressed with this young lady. And you know, we had a good conversation, you know, and I said, you can go ask Debbie about me. I said, they'll tell you what I'm like. And I told her, you know, I ran for president, and I was an honest politician. I would take a bribe, but nobody bribed me, so I only got 1 vote. I think some people might have misunderstood, thought I was going to bribe them to vote for me. But no, I was going to be bribed to offer favors once I became the president. That didn't work out, so there we go. Anyways, I'm the Grumpy Vlogger, and you know what I say, be kind, treat each other better than you would treat yourself. All lives matter, including that board. God bless and God help the USA. I'm the Grumpy